Grand Risings, Libras. Happy Sexy Saturday. It's your girl King bringing you a little dream update. There's a lot going on in the dream state, Libra. Some people are still pissed off at you, Libras. What's new? Anywho, back to you, boos, in the studio. Hello to all of my new subscribers, my faithful, ever-growing few, and for those of you just breezing on through, what it do? Please forgive the frog in my throat, as I have just awakened. However, Libras, we are going to talk about this dream that I had. So whether you are sun, moon, rising, north node, wherever Libra may be sprinkled in your chart, know that you are indeed welcome right here. In the dream, Libra, I had moved. Now, the funny thing is, I had seen this apartment, because it was an apartment. I saw this apartment in my dream state earlier. It's like I saw this specific apartment, I dreamt about it, and then some time went by in the dream state, and I came back to this apartment. So upon the second time of seeing this apartment, going to this apartment, dreaming this apartment. So imagine you have a dream, then let's say you have 2, 3, 4 dreams in between that time, and then you go back to the dream that you first had, or you go back to the space, the environment of that dream. So again, I had already seen this dream, or I had already seen this apartment. Bear with me. Things are a bit scattered, but I have shit together. Anywho. So I go back into this environment in this dream, this particular apartment. So as I'm in the parking lot of this apartment complex, of this apartment that I've already visited in dreams previous. So as I'm in the parking lot and I'm walking towards the building where my specific unit is, I'm looking at the nature of the complex. You know how sometimes you'll go to a complex and it'll be kind of iffy outside, but then you actually go in the apartment and the apartment is really nice? Or, sometimes it can be vice versa, the outside, the complex will look really nice, but then you'll go in the unit and the unit looks like shit. Anyways, so I'm walking to the building and I'm noticing I'm in the parking lot and I'm looking at the complex and I'm like, this complex really isn't all that. It's kind of iffy. So I'm walking towards the building and there's a mailman outside and he's delivering mail, and we made some kind of small talk. I can't remember exactly what I said to him, but you know how you kind of chit chat, you make small talk with the mailman, right? So we made small talk. He said something that made me laugh, and then I'm going to the unit, my unit. So I walk into this unit, into this apartment, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I can't wait to take this fucking nap. I guess I was tired. So I'm walking down the hallway, I had turned to my left. And when you turn to your left, you walk down this hallway and there's a bathroom down there. And then there's 2 bedrooms down there. I think the bathroom was on the left, the master bedroom was on the left. And then there's a second bedroom in the hallway on the right. So I'm walking down the hallway and I notice that there's a bunch of mattresses turned over on the side. There's a mattress and a box spring in the hallway, because I remember I had to squeeze past them to get into the master bedroom. And so when I get to the end of the hallway and I'm turning into the master bedroom, there's like more mattresses in the master bedroom. And then I look in the second bedroom on the right and there's more mattresses in there. And I'm like in my head in the dream, I'm like, why did they leave all these fucking beds and shit? And I'm like, well, at least they're gone. So then I go in the master bedroom. Mind you, I had to squeeze past this fat ass mattress that was in the hallway. Like, it was really thick. Like, for some strange, it was really a thick ass mattress. Like, I literally had to squeeze in the doorway to get into the master bedroom. So then I'm like, I was like, is this a 2-bedroom? So I had walked into the closet. There's like a walk-in closet in the master bedroom. And I remember a masculine energy telling me previously in the dream, not in this second time of me being back in this apartment, but like back in the first dream, which I don't remember, but I remember being at this apartment again. Bear with me. Stay with me. So this masculine energy told me that they had put like 2 beds in the closet so that so-and-so could sleep in there. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go investigate the closet in the master bedroom, and there are indeed 2 beds, and it's not like a bunk bed, but there's 2 beds. There's like a lower bed and a higher bed. But they're like in between the walls. So it wasn't actually like a bunk bed. It was like some weird type of built-in shit. So like I flick on the light and there's a dude in the bottom bunk. It's a masculine. And I can't really see who that is because he has the blankets up over his head. And I'm like, oh shit, they're still here? And so I click the light off, and as I'm backing out the room, there's like a lot of clothes and shit on the floor and like some sheets and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought they were gone. So I back out of the room and I go across the hallway into the second bedroom, and there's some more masculines in that room sleeping on beds, like just a bed and a mattress. There's no headboard. It's just a bed and a mattress and a box spring on the floor. But I see that there's a masculine sleeping in this room, and he's got the covers up over his head. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I turn around and I don't know where I grabbed a blanket from, but I grabbed a blanket and a pillow, and I'm walking back down the hallway towards the living room. This is where it gets interesting. So in my mind, I'm like, so my cousins didn't leave. And for some strange odd reason, I knew that these were my male cousins on my father's side. I'm like, so I guess they didn't fucking leave. And so I'm like, well, I can't sleep in here because obviously, there's dudes in the second bedroom sleeping. There's dudes in here in the closet in the master bedroom sleeping. And there was another dude like actually in the bedroom, in the master bedroom, sleeping too. Everyone's got the blankets pulled up over their heads. But like I said, in my mind, I knew that those were my male cousins on my dad's side. Skip forward. Get back down the hallway. I'm walking into the living room. There's 2 females in my living room. One is sitting at the table at like a 4-person chair table and chair set. So there's a female sitting, like if you were to imagine a compass, she would be sitting in the eastern seat. There's another female, she's standing up and she's talking to this other female. I'm coming down the hallway, I got my blanket and my pillow under my arm, because my thought was in the bedroom, when I saw that my masculine cousins were occupying these bedrooms, they hadn't left, they had moved out like I thought. these females were having a conversation. So I walked into the living room, and it was the living room. I know you're like, well, it wasn't the dining room. No, it was the living room. There was no other furniture in the room, though, except this 4-seater table and chair set. The two females were two readers. Now, these two readers, I've watched probably, literally, like a handful of videos from both of them. Like maybe 5 from one and like maybe 4 videos from another. Like, I know who they are. I've seen them in my timeline. And I've watched, like I said, a handful of videos from each one of them. But they're not really, you know how you'll see like a new reader come across your timeline, and sometimes if the title strikes you, you'll watch it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very particular about who I watch. And there's only a few. There's only a few on this platform that I will watch, because I trust in their energy. Again, no shade. I need y'all to understand, no shade on these two readers. However, I don't really rock with them because I don't really resonate with them. Again, no shade. I see these two females, they're having this conversation. So when I come into the living room and I hear them talking to one another, the one who's standing up, I don't remember exactly what she was saying, but she was telling the other reader about going shopping. She had to go to the mall. She was planning to go to the mall to go shopping or something, or she was planning to go to a store to go shopping. So they're talking, they're having this conversation. So I come and I sit at the table with my blanket and my pillow in my hand. I sit down at the table in the southern seat. So the north seat and the west seat are open, but the other female who's talking, she's kind of standing near the table and she's talking in between the north and the east seat. Or the north and the west seat, pardon me. So I sit down, so they're having their conversation. The one that's standing up is telling the one that's sitting down, that she's going to shop and she's going to go buy this and this and that. So I make some small talk. Now, don't ask me why I didn't ask these two females why the fuck they were in my gosh damn house. It's only because I feel like in the dream, it's only because I knew their faces that I wasn't triggered about them being in my gosh damn house. So I make a small interjection into the conversation. And I said something to the effect of, yeah, I was just about to get comfortable, because when I hit the door, and I remember this specifically, I said, yeah, because when I hit the door, normally I get naked. And the one who was sitting down at the table on the right side, like she turned and she looked at me like she had this surprised and shocked look on her face. Then they both started laughing and she said, what you mean you get naked? I said, yeah, like I was planning to come home. I thought I was about to take this nap. I was going to get naked. And I was just telling the mailman outside that I was so excited to be home. I didn't tell the mailman I was about to get naked. I told the mailman like I was about to take a nap, like I was so excited to be home. I was about to take a nap. But I told them that I couldn't get naked. I couldn't get exposed because there's people in the house. I said, so basically, I guess I'm just about to go sleep in the living room on the floor. But again, they were in the living room. The little 4-piece chair dinette set was in the living room. There was no other furniture in there but that chair set. So I could not sleep in either one of the bedrooms because my male cousins, whom I guess were supposed to have moved out of this apartment were still there. They hadn't left yet. Not to mention, these two female readers were in my gosh damn living room. So I couldn't get comfortable so that I could take my nap. So here's what I'm getting from this dream. There is a house, a home, an abode, Libra, somewhere that you may not be aware of that belongs to you. Your family members, and I'm getting, these are family members on your father's side. Your family members know that this home, this house, this abode belongs to you. These people know that they're supposed to leave. These people know that they have to get out. They should get out. However, they are not. I'm also getting that these male family members on your father's side, and I'm getting your male cousins on your father's side, may have something to do with this. This may even be who's staying in the home that belongs to you that you may not necessarily know about, your male cousins. I'm not sure if these male cousins, or even your father, because let me tell you, that energy is here as well. Your father's energy is here as well. If this isn't your father, this again could be the father of your children. But this has to do with family. Anywho, back to you boos in the studio. I'm not sure if these male cousins or your father hired these two female readers to look into you, to see what's going on in your home, to see what's going on with you. I was baffled and confused why these two gosh damn readers, whom I'm aware of, but don't necessarily watch because I don't really resonate with them. Again, no shade on these females, but they've tried to enter my gosh damn living room in the ethers because they were sent by my family. They were hired by my family to check and see what's going on with me, what's going on within the walls that I reside within. The fact that I was talking to them about getting naked or quote unquote being exposed. So it's like these females were sent and or have done readings on you to check your temperature. And really what that temperature check is they're checking to see your vulnerabilities, or if you're vulnerable, or when you're vulnerable. Now, the fact that I don't really watch these females, again, I do know of them. They have come across my timeline. I've clicked on a handful of videos from both of them, but they're just not really my readers. I'm not sure if your family somehow was able to look at your account or to see whom you watch or what videos you watch. But it's like someone either knows or knew that you watched them or you were connected to them in some shape, form, or fashion. You're going to know, Libra, who these readers are. You're going to know. You're going to know exactly who these two readers are if this is resonating with you. Secondly, from the reading I just did the other day, where I said, They made a switch once they figured out you weren't a dark witch. In that reading, the energy of your father, Luke, I am your father. The energy of your father, a father figure, and or your child's father came through in that reading. And in that reading, I showed you guys a very specific card in which there was a masculine energy peeing, like with his dick out, peeing on a door that was clearly closed, and hanging upon that door was a sign that said, keep out. The other day I came home, there was piss on my door. I kid you the fuck not. There was piss. How do I know? Because I was like, that looks like coffee, but I know gosh damn well I haven't spilt any coffee outside my front door. It was dry. So I put my nose near it because I was like, I really don't remember, because I did have some coffee coming in my house the other day. And I was doing a bit of a balancing act because I had a lot of stuff in my hand. I was trying to open up the door and, of course, hold all the shit in my hands and the cup of coffee at the same time. However, I did not spill my coffee. So I was like, oh, well, what is this? So I put my nose down by the dried ass droplets on my door. And of course it smelled like what? Cat piss. Yeah, and because whether or not you have cats, you've been somewhere outside, you've smelled some cat piss. That shit is strong. I mean, it is. Cat piss ain't got nothing on human piss. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Denzel Washington could be significant. Anywho, back to you, boos. New York could be significant. Libras. There was cat piss on my door. And I laughed to myself because I knew exactly who did that. This goes into another story. I sort of, kind of, halfway, maybe, quasi, had a familiar. For a time, actually, I had two. They were brother and sister. They were cats. I cared for them because they were orphaned by their mother. And there were actually three of them, but their sibling got hit in the street one day in front of my house. I think someone did that purposefully. Anywho, back to you, boos, in the studio. So the male of these two cats, well, once his balls dropped, he was like, I'm the fuck up out. So he moved to another block. He moved off the block, we'll say that. Once his balls dropped, he was out there in the streets getting his meat. Let me just say that. So he left his sister behind. His sister has never left this complex. And matter of fact, she only stays really on one side of the complex. So when he left, she had still been coming around, and I literally took care of her for months, for quite some time. Unfortunately, my quasi maybe could have a little bit, my familiar, she got an attachment. And that's because someone put an attachment on her. I know this because one night I was coming home and I was getting out of the car and I could hear, listen to what I'm saying, I could hear the entity attaching to my maybe sort of, kind of, possibly familiar. I'm telling you, the shit was so unnerving. I was getting out of the car. The door was open. I'm grabbing my stuff. My foot is hanging out the door. This cat is screaming like nothing I've ever heard before. Now, we've all heard cats fucking, right? They make some really horrific screams sometimes. And that's because, for some of you, if you don't know, male cats, their penis is kind of barbed. So that's why cats scream like that when they're having relations, because the male's member literally is spiky. This was not that sound. I'll say this again. I heard an entity attaching itself to my familiar. I closed that door so quick, I sat in the car. I was questioning. do you understand? I was not questioning life, but I was questioning what the fuck I was going to do. I was so unnerved. I closed that door so quick. Once the screaming stopped, and I do mean screaming. I mean, listen, screaming. Once the screaming stopped, I had to get my shit together. Of course, I had said some prayers. I'm like, but I've got to get out the car. I've got to get to my house. I sprinted so fast with all that shit that I had that night. My parking space isn't far from my door. Let me tell you, we got there in 2.3 seconds flat. Quit playing. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Jackie Joyner Kersey didn't have anything on me that night. So ever since an entity attached itself to my familiar, and I have a feeling who put that entity on my quote-unquote familiar, because I had seen my familiar going to a specific neighbor's house, and they're weird as fuck. And they've been watchers. They've been on and off of being watchers. Like, they'll watch for like a period of time, and then they'll fall back, and then they'll start being weird and fucking watching again. So they put an attachment. They attached an entity to my familiar. So ever since then, I had to say goodbye because I knew better. I did used to let this cat in my house. That was when it was my familiar. Again, I had to let go. That cat had been acting strange ever since that time. It's been quite some time since that event occurred. I have not let the cat back in my house. I still love the cat. I love it from afar. But I know that that entity is still there because every now and again, the cat reminds me that this entity is still attached to it. And all the times that I had been taking care of this cat, and all the times I considered it my maybe kind of sort of a little bit familiar, it was always kind, it was always polite. There was a loving energy in between me and this animal. Once the entity attached itself to the familiar, again the cat began to act strange. One night I came home, I saw the cat. I spoke to her. I kept walking because I know better. So I get to my stairs, and like normal, like it used to be in the past, the cat was right there behind me because she would kind of stay at the bottom of the steps until I got to the top of the steps, and then I would tell her, like, come on, it's okay. And then she would come upstairs and I would feed her. So she came to the bottom of the steps, and I knew she was there, so I turned back around and I said no. I went in the house, closed the door. I'm, decompressing because I've just arrived home, doing what I need to do to, get comfortable in the house. No, not naked. Not this time. Anywho, as I'm decompressing, I hear loud ass banging on my gate. I have a security gate on my door. Let me tell you what's so loud. I thought the fucking police were outside. So I go to the window. The cat is police banging on my security gate. I'm like, what the fuck? This has never happened. Mind you, I had taken care of this animal for an extended period of time before the entity attached itself to this animal. Never in all of that time, I didn't even know the cat knew how to do that. Now, cats are famous for batting and or slapping. This cat had never shown any of those types of behaviors with me. They had never displayed that type of behavior the whole time I was in care of this cat. The cat was banging on the door like they were police. And I was like, absolutely the fuck not. Now you surely, I mean, the cat had already been off the list. There was already a no-go in place before that. So this has happened quite a few times. And what's interesting is I notice this tends to happen around the moon cycles. I'll come home, there'll be like some lag time, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes. Here comes this police now, and I mean violent. I mean, it's so violent you could swear you would know, you would have to know that a human was outside banging on your door like that. But no, it's this fucking cat. So 2 nights ago, I come home. Now the cat hasn't been up here, hasn't done anything quite some time. I come home the other night, come in the house, decompressing. And again, loud ass banging at the door. I don't even go to the window anymore and check because I already know who it is. Nobody in their right gosh damn mind would come to my house and bang on my door like they're the fucking police, except this cat. So I'm like, yep, nope, I already know who that was. And I always just continue to go about my business. But I noticed the next morning when I came home, because when I left, there wasn't pee on my door. When I came home a little bit later in the AM, there was piss on my door. So I'm not sure if this entity may be attached or was sent by your father, your male cousins on your father's side, the father of your children. But someone has sent some dark energy to you, and this may be coming through another form. So the energy may not present itself as itself. It may use a decoy, but they're trying to send you this energy. They want you to open that fucking door is what they want, Libra, because you've sealed the deal. You've closed the door. You've ended the cycle to this connection, to this relation, to this male member, this masculine energy, whether that be your male cousins, your actual father, or the father of your children. They're literally pissed off. And I mean, it couldn't be more reminiscent. Like, they're pissed off. They're so pissed off that they would piss on your door. This cat pissed on my door. And so, fun fact, and I knew this, but I Googled it just to double check my knowledge. Cats spray to mark their territory. Now, dogs do this too, but cats also spray to mark their territory if there's a new cat in the community or in the environment. Like if you and they were specifically talking about feral cats or, neighborhood street cats, alley cats. If there's a new alley cat, street cat, whatever, in the environment, on the street, in the complex, on the block, sometimes cats will spray to let these motherfuckers know, like, look, this is my area over here. Stay the fuck away. So it's like this person connected to you from your past, your male cousins on your dad's side, your actual father, or this father of your child or children. They're so pissed off that you've closed the door, that you've closed the cycle, that the shit is over. They still think that you're theirs. They want to piss on your door to mark their territory, to let other masculine energies know that, hey, I'm still around. Don't come around here because this one's mine. You can't come in this door. Now, fun fact, they can't get in the fucking door either. But what they want to do is piss on your door so that other masculines will stay the fuck away from you. Now, when I was coming home just last night, I saw a male cat. And this cat has been around my past familiar. Now, my familiar is a she. Female felines don't normally spray. That's more so a masculine cat trait. But females will spray. It's not that they can't and they don't. It's just that they usually don't. So I'm coming in last night and I see this male cat. Now, I've seen this cat before, but he is kind of sort of like new to my complex. Like, I've not seen this cat many times, and it's only as recent that I've seen this cat. So I don't know if this cat was the one. Oh, believe me, I stopped and I asked it. He stood there, he listened. He kind of dismissed me. I was like, oh, okay. Yes, because I do talk to animals. I am that one. Anywho, and they do talk back. I stopped and asked this cat on the way in. He wanted to disappear through the bars. Like, he wanted to walk through, like, the gate, like, to kind of get away from me. And then he turned and looked again. I'm like, so you just not going to answer? I'm like, did you spray my door? And so he kind of looked and then he walked away. I'm like, okay, bet, I got you. So I don't know if he was the one, his ass was acting a little suspicious. If he was the one that sprayed my door, or my past, kind of sort of maybe a little bit familiar, was the one who sprayed my door. Now, regardless of the fact whether it was this masculine new booty cat or whether it was my kind of sort of maybe a little bit familiar, sprayed my door. See, the message is in the piss. They want other energies to stay the fuck away from you because they can't get in your door. They don't want you to open your door to any other energies, any other masculines or any other feminines. Take it how it resonates. They don't want anyone else to come through your door because they feel like even though they can't get through your door, even though you've closed the cycle with them, they don't want anyone else to have any attachments, any access to you. So they've pissed on your door to mark their territory. There's a lot going on, Libras. It's a lot going on. People see you leveling up. People have seen that you have grown. People have seen that you have expanded past previous limitations. They're not happy. That's not your problem. And I'll say this again, you don't have to solve it. Although the Most High will consistently, repeatedly, consciously and unconsciously send you the signs and synchronicities so that you are fully aware of just what the fuck is going on around you. Whether you're sleepy, you need a nap, you need some rest, the Most High will always show you what's going on in the 3D as well as the 5D. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen with these two female readers who tried to pervade your living room because they were looking for information. They were temperature checking to check to see if you're vulnerable, when you're vulnerable, how you're vulnerable, because I'm not even sure why I volunteered the information to tell these females I was about to get naked so I could take this nap, which I still couldn't do because couldn't sleep in the bedrooms because my male cousins were in there sleeping on some beds, some mattresses, and some box springs. I mean, there wasn't even real sheet sets on the bed. There were sheets on the bed, but they were not really on the bed. It's a mess. It's a hot gosh damn mess. For them, these male family members on your father's side, they need to get the fuck out your house. And they know that they're supposed to leave. They're still trying to sleep there. They're still trying to stay there, even though they know that they don't belong there because it's your house. And again, whether it's your father, the father of your child or your children, or your actual father, they've contacted these two readers. so that these readers could enter your energetic field. Tap into you, again, to check your temperature. And I said earlier this week, and the method behind the magic, about these people standing at the ticket counter. Everyone's got a ticket. Everyone's got a number. Because some people are checking your pulse. They're checking your temperature. They're trying to see how to approach you so that they can get service. Everyone's standing at the ticket counter, Libra. Everyone's standing there with a ticket. May or may not be helped. See, it's all up to you. You have to give permission. Libras, please do continue to utilize your own intuition and discernment to make the very best decisions for your highest good. I know that you will. The Most High knows that you will. Your higher self, your spiritual team knows that you will. Because you've demonstrated that you can, that you will, that you do. Of course, these energies were returned to sender and sent back because I definitely will not allow these two readers to be in my energy or to be in my etheric field. There will be no temperature check. There will be no checking for vulnerabilities. I have already called in the necessary energies to take care of those said energies. And may you do the same, Libra. To keep prying eyes, not only out of your mind, but out of your etheric field. Return to sender. Rebuked in the name of the Most High. I will not have eyes in the sky spying on me other than the eyes of the Most High. Because, in all honesty, those are the only eyes that I'm concerned with looking at me. Libras, I love you. Please do enjoy this very sexy Saturday. And yes, you ma'am, you sir, you lady, you man, high vibe tribe, I'm talking to you. Continue to be divinely sexy. You. I love you. Any and all pertinent information to this reading can and will be listed down in the description box. Thank you for your presence, your energy, your vibes, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, your financial contributions, your comments. They are all integral parts to this channel. And I thank and appreciate you, whether you are Libra or not, for them. If you are already subscribed, please do remember, Libras, to check to make sure that that bell is still blue, as sometimes it does magically uncheck itself. Stay tuned. United we stand, together we rise. Holla at your girl. Peace.